Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my July 2022 book haul. It was supposed to be a bigger book haul than it turned out to be because this was my birthday month and people were supposed to give me books for my birthday. Namely my family, who I sent, a list to, that I think they did go ahead and get maybe. But unfortunately, my birthday plans were very waylaid this year. Frankly, some of my family members came down with COVID for a little while, and then there were other travel plans, so I actually haven't gotten to see anybody for my birthday, at least from my immediate family in the area, or much other family or people either, frankly. Yeah, it's unfortunate how it turned out. Luckily, all of the COVID experiences were very mild, which is, very fortunate. And of course, I'm also very fortunate that my family deigns to buy me presents at all, I shouldn't sit here sounding so entitled, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a letdown that it hasn't happened yet, that I haven't gotten my cake and my books. But then again, what that probably means is that the fun party stuff is still in the foreground, and hopefully we'll be able to get together in August and celebrate my birthday and my brother-in-law's birthday, which was around the same time as mine as well. So I'm not the only one who suffered. But anyway, I'm not sure how I'm coming off with all of that whining, so maybe I'll leave that behind and get to the actual book haul, because I do indeed have books to share, just 3 of them. And I am going to share them in order of how well I know the author of said books, because all of these are new releases. Well, technically I also know authors who have written backlist books by this point as well, but anyway, to the point. So the first book I have to show you is From the Jump by Lacey Walden, and Lacey and I used to be in a book club together, and in fact her debut novel came out last year and she was still living in the DC area, and I went to her really awesome launch party for that book, and it was the first time we really got to see each other in over a year, because unfortunately our book club, our writing group, kind of collapsed during COVID. So anyway, now she actually has moved across the country, and so I don't get to do any of the fun launch stuff with her, but I'm still very excited to read this book. I'm reminded that, I don't read a lot of breezy romance, but she's really enticing me to walk through that door. Much like her debut novel, this one is about a up-and-coming young woman named Liv Bakersfield, I think is the name of this character, because romance characters have the best names, and she's the type of person who seems to have it all in the contemporary sense of what it is to be a young woman today, but she feels bereft of something, and not just a man, but just sort of a sense of purpose in her life, and she is able to assuage all of those issues by deciding to go with a group of friends to an exotic location. And I believe half of this book takes place in South Africa, where she and her friends decide to go. That's one thing that Lacey did in her other book as well. A lot of it is about wanderlust and travel, which is certainly a big selling point, I think, in today's day and age. So the fun thing is, I think that it's not just the romance that she's going to have with one of her friends that sort of revitalizes her, but also the travel and the friend group stuff. And that's so really cool. I'm invigorated that that can also be a part of the romance genre, that it doesn't all have to just be about the lurvy-dervy stuff. But I guess that makes sense. You need subplots in books. And anyway, yeah, I'm so looking forward to this. I really think it's going to be a fun time. The next book I have to talk about is Wind Daughter by Joanna Ruth Meyer. And Joanna Ruth Meyer and I, years and years ago now, ran in the same virtual NaNoWriMo circles of a sort. We were part of the short-lived NaNoWriMo Vidler community, which was, the pre-booktube days of, another video platform trying to, make a name for itself in the reading and writing community. So for a couple of years, Nano had a partnership with Vidler, and people like Joanna Ruth Meyer and I took advantage and made some videos during Nano. And I was just really taken with her and her drive. I mean, all of this was before she even got an agent for her books. But I knew I wanted to follow her career, and she was also writing YA fantasy, which is a genre that intrigues me. So anyway, we only had a little bit of interaction in the NaNoWriMo Vidler group, but I, kept lurking until she finally got her agent and her book deal, and that was a while back now, because this is book 5. And in fact, it is a companion novel to her most famous of her 5 novels, which is Echo North. It is a fairy tale retelling. And this one, I believe, follows another character in that world. So I will read from the flap. In the dark, cold reaches of the north, magic is causing the world to unravel. The magic once belonged to the formidable North Wind before he traded it away in exchange for mortality. Now, his only daughter, Satu, is forced to watch her home, her family, and the very mountain they live on be devoured piece by piece, and the unraveling shows no signs of stopping. To save her world, Satu embarks on a perilous journey to reclaim her father's magic, but she isn't the only one searching for it. In the snow-laden mountain, she finds herself in a deathly race with the Winter Lord, who wants the North Wind's destructive powers for himself. He haunts her every step, waiting for her to take the threads of magic that Satu feels unprepared to carry. Satu finally has the chance to be the heroine of her own fairy tale, but the ending will require her to face all of her fears and summon the strength she never knew she had. So yeah, I think in a way this is doing things with fairy tales, but it's more original characters, I think. At least there's no reference to something that she's adapting, but I'm excited, I'm on board. I just love that her fantasies are so fantastical and have a lot of magic in them and are so fun. And like with all of her other books, I went ahead and pre-ordered this to get all the swag. Like I have, this bookmark and, this quote sticker. And then on the title page, I have another bookmark and a signed book plate. So huzzah! I love that I get to do this stuff even though Joanna Ruth Meyer lives like across the country from me. And finally, for the author I know not at all, but if someone would want to introduce us and, encourage her to be my friend, I would not be averse. I have A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, which is a more official sequel to her first novella in the Monk and Robot series. So this one is the second one, and it will continue the travails and travels, I guess, of Moscap and Dex as they try to figure out what it is that humans want in this hope punk world or moon that they live on together. And I gotta say, I think this is my favorite of all the Becky Chambers covers ever. I just really love this color scheme, and I'm so surprised because it's her American cover, and I remember for her Wayfarers series, I went ahead and splurged on all the UK editions because I really preferred the UK covers to the American ones, but yeah, this is working for me. I also went ahead and bought this book from Solid State Books in Washington, D.C., which I'll link their website down below. I did this because the first Monk and Robot book, for that, she did a virtual event with Solid State Books. And I was really hoping that she would decide to do that again for this one, or, that whoever it is that, arranges these things would arrange it again. But alas, that did not happen. There was no virtual event with Solid State Books, and I felt really bad about that. But I still wanted to, keep the tradition going of buying a book, the second book from Solid State Books. Mostly because I always want the excuse to patronize, my local indie bookstores, and it had been a while anyway since I went to Solid State Books, so I went after work the other day, and it was my first time in that bookstore since COVID, and it was just so cozy and nice, and there was even a street trolley I could take to the nearest metro station afterwards, so I had a lot of fun with that. And hopefully I'll also have a lot of fun reading this book. So that about covers it for me now. I will leave the Goodreads links for all of these books listed down below. This may technically be a July video, but we are definitely in August now, and I have a lot of stuff that I want to get out on this channel in August, starting very soon. Starting, in fact, hopefully very imminently, with my thoughts on the BookTube prize finals, because those were announced today, and I've already watched the video and gotten my ballot, because indeed my semi-final sabbatical is now over and I'm back in the running for the final round of the BookTube prize, and I'm so excited and I have thoughts to share, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I hope the rest of you are also excited for your August reading, whether it comes from your book hauls or from, readathons or prizes or what have you. I'll look forward to all of your videos throughout the month. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.